I think we can go. So, hi everyone, and welcome to the weekly Falco Community call. Please write your name in the HackMD under the Who Joined section. I'm sharing it right now in the chat. And a kind reminder, during this call, the CNCF Code of Conduct applies, so please be kind and nice to everyone else and to each other. And also, the call is being recorded. So if you don't want to be recorded, please turn off your camera. So I think that we can start with week highlights. I think that, Thomas, the stage is yours.
Yeah, basically, I released two new versions, one for Falco Psychic, another one for Falco Psychic UI. And in last days, I also updated the M chart, so you can now install the last version of Psychic and the last version of Psychic UI. For Psychic UI, it changes a lot of things because now we have a database to store the events. Basically, it's a Redis with some module from Redis Lab. And everything is described in the blog post, which is out now, or it has been released. It's out for less than 1 hour now, 30 minutes, I think. So take a look and you have all details about the stuff for these new releases. That's all.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, I see that we have a few items in the agenda. So, Peter, please.
Yeah, just wanted to do a quick update on the release. The release progress is going pretty smooth as of now. We are targeting the 3rd of June. Yeah, it means this Friday basically for the release, and we are on track for that. There are already drivers available for the new driver version. And as far as I know, there are no more pull requests to be merged in Falco. So basically, we just have to go on testing another day or so and then tag the new release. I already brought, oh, okay. There is a preview of the Falco blog post for the 0.32 release. I will share the link. So if everyone has any suggestions or, wanted to add anything, you can easily do it. I'm looking for my pull request. Here it is.
Fede,
yeah.
Please share also the link to download the dev builds so folks can test them.
Right.
By the way, I want to invite everyone to test the dev build of Falco if possible. Thank you.
Yeah, it is quite a big release, so the more the test, the less the bug possibly. Finger crossed at least. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you, Albert.
I wanted to expand a little bit on this. So we still had to release officially Falco, but the plugin SDK Go and the plugins are already released. So you'll probably find some stable plugins that currently don't work with the latest version of Falco. So if you want to run those for any reason, you have to wait a couple of days until we release Falco. And I also encourage people to test this as much as possible, because I can bring the example of a community member that apparently tested a bunch of stuff and personally helped me spot the bug in the filter parser. So that's super helpful and perhaps very useful for everyone. So if you can test it, that's amazing.
Thank you, Jason. Well, I see that there is a link about Falco Exporter.
Yeah, actually, that's I'm the next in line as well. I just wanted to. I opened a PR a couple of days ago to propose myself as a maintainer of Falco Exporter. The reason is that I've been contributing to that repo in the past and even recently, and we don't have many maintainers there. So I think that's a valuable piece of the Falco ecosystem that we can grow all together. And I wanted to propose myself to help the Leos actually maintain it. So you're welcome to to have a conversation about this either here or in the PR, and I'm totally open to any feedback.
The only thing that I can say is just that I'm happy I'm going to approve this pull request. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
Okay, that's nice. Then, Leo,
Oh, yes. This is just a very quick update regarding the
Ele
chart.
tava bem diferente do normal dele.
Someone is speaking.
estão comendo
I don't
já?
know.
I think, Fred, I think the mic, your mic.
Fred, your mic is on.
Oh, my mistake. My wife was talking to me here. Sorry.
No worries.
No problem, no problem. It happens to me always too.
Listen
So-
to Portuguese.
So I was just saying that we are going to refactor a bit the Falcon chart, only the Falcon chart, because since we recently introduced a plugin, the deployment strategy we use in the chart is not anymore working with plugins. In particular, some plugins, I believe, maybe all plugins, we don't know yet, don't need to be deployed as a daemon set, but just need a normal deployment. And then chart needs to support this. There are also some edge case where plugin maybe need to open some ports or create some services, things like that. Stuff and options that are completely different from the classical syscall instrumentation that come by default with Falco. In particular, in this release, we moved the Kubernetes audit log implementation from Falco to a plugin that we released today. The plugin is called Case Audit. And for this reason, as first thing, I started to port the Helm chart implementation from the legacy Kubernetes audit support embedded into Falco to the Kubernetes audit support with the plugin. These require some changes in the chart. At the same time, I'm trying to deprecate very legacy stuff like, for example, the dynamic backend support that is not supported anymore in Kubernetes, and also some minor cleanup. For example, until now, all the rules set were included inside the chart, were copied inside the chart each time. But I really believe that we can use those from the container image that are always up to date and things like that. So I just wanted to inform you that perhaps in the next couple of weeks, we will introduce some breaking change in the chart. And at the same time, we will introduce a new feature in the chart, the Falcon chart. That's it. And by the way, if someone wants to help testing this stuff, is welcome as usual. Just ping me or other maintainers on the Slack channel.
From my point of view, we have so much different use cases with plugins. Some plugins need to have only one instance, another maybe several for resiliency, etc. We have so much cases. With Helm, it will be a real nightmare to manage that. So I'm thinking more and more an operator could be more efficient to manage plugins in Kubernetes clusters. We could have in this CRD the way to deploy the plugin, the way to open ports for the plugin, and it will be easier to tell the operator we need only one instance for this plugin. For example, for the CloudTrail plugin, we can't have different Falco instances grabbing the same logs at the same time. So I think we are at the limit of what we can do with Helm without creating a monster with so much if else everywhere.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. By the way, during the KubeCon week, I had a discussion with Aldo, the MC, regarding the Falco operator. Maybe he's willing to help on that. And but I totally agree on the Falco operator that would be the correct solution. In my opinion, the Helm chart need to just support a few installation use cases. In my mind, what I have is, of course, the syscall use case that need a daemon set, and you need a Falco instance on each node. On the other hand, there are, I would say, two main scenarios for plugins. One is the pull one, where is the plugin that pull stuff from a node, from a file or whatever. In that case, just a single deployment should be enough. And the second main scenario is when the plugin needs to listen on a service, on a webhook or something like that. For example, the Kubernetes audit log, but also the GitHub plugin that was contributed recently. And I believe at least the Helm chart could support these 2-3 cases and no more.
Yeah,
Everything else should be implemented using a CRD, an operator, or something that is a bit more, I would say, advanced than just Helm. But of course, at the same time, we know that maybe Helm, our Helm chart is the most used installation method among our users. So in some way, we have to improve it anyway. This is my thoughts.
I agree. I'm totally following you on that topic, especially because we must continue to propose the K8s audit log feature because
Exactly.
we had it in the previous version. I know it will be really complicated to manage the TLS part because it's always a pain.
Yeah.
I just forgot what I was saying.
Yes,
I know. I think with the new model for the plugins, the push or pull model JSON introduced in the next release, it will be easier to know which kind of deployment or demand set and the number of replica sets we must have for each plugin. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we also need to add some metadata close to the plugin itself to understand if that plugin needs, I don't know, a service or another stuff. Anyway, just one thing that I want to be more precise on that. We are also working on a system to install and distribute plugins. Currently, Falco bundles only a few plugins. If I remember correctly, the Kubernetes audit plugin and the CloudTrail plugin, and of course, and the JSON plugin that is just an extractor plugin. So maybe the solution could be that the Helm chart will ship just some preset for those plugins that came with Falco, with the official distribution of Falco. And for everything else, we will use other tools, other, I would say, more advanced tools. This could be another solution. Because, you know, people are used to just enable the audit log support on Falco, and they expect that everything works as before. This is my 2 cents about that. Okay, that's it on my side.
Thank you, Leo. Okay, do we have any or topics for today? Nope. Okay. So we're closing. DMC for the next call. Do we have any volunteer, or we can let it open and see who's okay. We are going to let it open. And okay, thank you everyone, and see you next week.